Gambling. Many people partake in this activity with the hope of striking it rich. Even though this usually results in the loss of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, but that's besides the point. Though it's not very common, gambling actually does occur in video games, although there is a clear distinction between real-life gambling and video game gambling. As everyone knows, when gambling in real life, there is almost always money involved, as people put money into slot machines or chips on the card tables in order to play for a chance to win a hefty amount of cash. In video games, however, there's no real money involved. The gambling scene in video games is often gambling of the game's in-game currency with coins that can be bought with the in-game currency for a chance to obtain new items or other perks. An example being the game corner in older Pokemon games. This often causes fun through sensation, as one would also experience when they win in a real-life casino, making the player want to play and gamble more in the hopes of winning more. This kind of gambling, however, is actually pretty scarce to come by, especially in games for kids. This is due to a law made in the UK that basically states that any game, no matter what it is, that has this type of gambling in it, will automatically receive a PEGI 12 rating, or the equivalent of an ESRB rating of everyone 10 and up or teen. This has caused many games to not feature gambling in the traditional sense, but rather as something else, such as the accuracy of a move in an RPG. It's when a new type of gambling that had grown popular in CSGO is brought in, skin gambling, that we begin to see many problems with gambling in video games. For those who are unfamiliar with this form of gambling, skin gambling is when a player uses an in-game skin, often very hard to get and expensive ones, and bets them on either matchups in games and tournaments, or in casino websites that emulate games found in real casinos. If the player wins, they get more skins. If they lose the skins that they have betted on. This is a problem for multiple reasons. First, there are no age restrictions on these websites. Kids of any age can come into the gambling site and bet with expensive skins.
Alright, for you guys having balls, I'll give you each a knife.
As much as any other
Or
player.
5.
Dibs on the Tiger too.
Dibs 5.
Which can then lead
$3,200.
Yeah, dibs on the Tiger too, Speedy. That's why you high roller, Speedy.
Unlike real casinos,
Yeah, but I also could have lost that.
Yeah.
But
Pretty big chance you could have won.
I'd rather lose my money on high roller than win on fucking.
Were often made by the owner of the website, who made it to be in their favor to trick people into joining it. These skin gambling websites have no regulations of any kind, unlike real-life gambling or other kinds of gambling in games. Third, it was not the way Valve, the creator of the game, had intended the game to be played in terms of trading its skins, which technically makes it illegal in the game. At first, it wasn't such a big deal. In fact, it made it so that everyone involved, well, Valve and the gambling websites, were getting a ton of money from all of their players trading in gambling skins. However, it soon got out of hand, and in July of 2016, Valve told the websites to shut down or face deletion, stating that using the OpenID API and making the same web calls as Steam users to run a gambling business is not allowed by our API or by our user agreement, and therefore the skin gambling websites were shut down. What was the result of this? Some skins dropped slightly in price shortly after Valve's announcement to ban skin gambling, but surprisingly they did not drop by as much as one would think. This could open the door possibly for future illegal skin gambling underground, though even this possibility is unlikely because of Valve's crackdown on this kind of thing when the ban happened. These casino and gambling games all around have iteration within them, as these games were developed with making people happy, or at least making them temporarily happy to make them want to keep playing, and for the most part, these games have got that. They also take advantage of the mere exposure effect, or the more that someone is exposed to something, the more they like it, and if they like it, they will want to keep playing and gambling more. Overall, gambling in video games, for the most part, was never that big of a deal outside of the whole incident with skin gambling and Valve, even with UK's law, but it still makes a fun and interesting topic to discuss.